stocks are bouncing as I speak to you right now. We've got the Russell up 1 2/3%, the Nasdaq up 0.9%, the S&P almost 1/4%, the Dow up about 1/3%, but it seems to be weakening as I'm speaking to you. Overnight data last night, UK inflation came in lower than expected, but their core year-over-year inflation rate still runs at plus 5.1%, and their headline year-over-year still runs at plus 4%, far from the Bank of England's target. EU GDP, which is the second revision to the first quarter, remained unchanged at 0%. That's quarter over quarter and plus 0.1% year over year. But their industrial production came in higher than expected, and it was positive plus 1.2% for the first time since mid-April of 2023. Yields are pretty quiet after yesterday's big move higher in the U.S. We're looking at down 2 basis points in the 2-year, unchanged in the 10-year, up 2 basis points in the 30-year, so not much movement there. Crude reverses after EIA data. WTI crude was working on its 8th straight session higher, but after the EIA data showed a 12 million barrel per day build and an only 80.6 refinery utilization number, that's a very low number, crude oil slipped to down 0.6% below the flat line immediately after that data. We'll see where it goes from there. Gold is below 2,000 at 1999 and change, and silver is up about 1/3 as I speak to you right now. The dollar is lower in aggregate, but the weakness does not carry over to the British pound, which is weaker by about 1/4% versus the greenback. The dollar is weaker versus the other majors, as well as some major cross currencies like the Kiwi and the Swiss. Looking ahead, central bank speakers today, Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee already spoke. Next, we get Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey, who may have some comments on that inflation data. Fed Vice Chair for Supervision Michael Barr later tonight. And also later tonight, Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic. Tomorrow, we get a speech by ECB President Christine Lagarde and Fed Governor Christopher Waller. Earnings after the close, 58 companies with market caps over $1 billion, including Cisco Systems, HubSpot, Occidental Petroleum, and Wyndham Hotels. Tomorrow before the open, we get another 60 of those billion-dollar companies, including Deere & Company, Stellantis, the Southern Company, West Pharmaceuticals, Royalty Pharma, and Hyatt Hotels. Data tonight, preliminary fourth quarter Japanese GDP, also their industrial production data for December. Tomorrow, UK GDP, US retail sales, jobless claims, industrial production, business inventories, the NAHB housing market index, and the Philly Fed.